Yo, what's up guys, my name is BananaRaccoon and welcome to my PvP guide for feral druids in the Shadowlands pre-patch. In this guide, we'll be going over the best races, talents, stat priorities, essences, Azerite traits and rotations to play feral as optimally as possible. But before we do get into the video, I want to quickly shout out my Twitch stream, so if you want to see some feral content, everything from Arena, Classic, Mythic Plus and Raiding, head on over to twitch.tv/BananaRaccoontv and hit that follow button. So we'll first start with races. For Alliance, the best race for ferals is Night Elf. Shadow Meld is insanely powerful, it lets you re-stealth to get rake stuns and can be used to avoid big spells like Chaos Bolts, Greater Pyroblast and Executioner Sentence. And then on the Horde side, the best race is Tauren. Their War Stomp is a nice AoE stun that can be great to peel or extend and start CC chains, or to help you get off cyclones. And additionally, their endurance ratio that increases stamina can be helpful for survival. Next, onto talents. So on the first row we've got Predator, Sabertooth and Lunar Inspiration. Here you'll always want Sabertooth as the value it provides is insane. It increases Ferocious Bite's damage as well as causing Bite to extend the duration of Rip on the target. Next we've got Tiger Dash, Renewal and Wild Charge. Here you'll pretty much always want to go with Wild Charge. Wild Charge is a versatile gap closing and mobility ability that changes depending on what form you're in. In cat form you leech your target and daze them, in bear form you charge your target and root them, in trouble form you do a big leap, and then when not in a form you can fly to a friendly target. Wild Charge is an incredibly powerful ability that helps you stick to a target or get some distance in kites. The only other talent I sometimes take is Renewal for the instant burst heal, but that's only really in niche situations like some 1v1 matchups or maybe when playing double DPS 2v2 where I don't need the additional mobility. On the third row we've got our affinities, Balance, Guardian and Resto. Here you'll want either Guardian or Resto. Resto provides some good passive healing with Ysera's Gift, a decent healing cooldown with Swift Mend, and then Rejuvenation and Wild Growth to help you off heal, as well as Ursul's Vortex, which is a really strong ability to help you peel or keep targets in place. Guardian reduces all damage we take by 6%, as well as giving you a good heal with Frenzied Regeneration and then an additional CC with Disorienting Roar. If you're the kill target, I'd recommend Guardian for the extra survivability, or if you need the additional CC of Disorienting Roar. Otherwise, Resto is the go-to talent for most 1v1 matchups, when playing double DPS 2v2, or when you would prefer the off heals over Guardian's damage reduction. Next, we've got Mighty Bash, Mass Entanglement and Heart of the Wild. Here, we always go with Mighty Bash. As much as I love Heart of the Wild, and it does have its place like when playing with a teammate that has a lot of stuns, like maybe a rogue, and then in some 1v1 matchups, on this tier, you'll always pretty much want Mighty Bash for the stun. At this point, I personally kind of think Mighty Bash should be baseline. On the next tier we have Soul of the Forest, Savage Roar and Incarnation. In the current meta, Soul of the Forest is the best talent. It increases the damage of our rips, ferocious bites and mains by 5%, as well as refunding energy when we use combo points. The more combo points we spend, the more energy we are refunded. And then we have Scent of Blood, Brutal Slash and Primal Wrath. Here we want to go Brutal Slash. It provides decent cleave damage and can be used to quickly build combo points as it's cheaper than Shred. And then finally we have Moment of Clarity, Blood Talons and Feral Frenzy. Here you want to go with either Blood Talons or Feral Frenzy. Blood Talons increases the damage of our next 2 rips and ferocious bites after using 3 different combo point generators within 4 seconds, and then Feral Frenzy gives us instant 5 combo points and applies a burst bleed on the target. Blood Talons is really good if you want to focus on doing just as much damage as possible, but Feral Frenzy is great for doing big damage in burst windows. You could do a Ferocious Bite and then use Feral Frenzy to get another 5 combo points to do a second Ferocious Bite. There's a lot of burst in a really short window. I personally prefer Feral Frenzy in most situations. Now onto our PvP talents. There are 2 talents you'll pretty much always want to take. Ferocious Wound, which causes a 5 combo point Ferocious Bite to apply a debuff that decreases the target's max health, stacking up to 2 times, and Leader of the Pack, which applies a buff to you and your group. The buff gives you 5% crit chance, and then when someone with the buff crits, it heals them on a 6-second cooldown. The third talent can be changed about depending on the situation. Thorns is great against melee cleaves as it can do some serious damage when people hit into it. Strength of the Wild causes our regrowths and allies to crit and then reduce regrowths cast time by half for 6 seconds, as well as increasing our max health in bear form by 15% and then causes attacks received when in bear form to generate 5 rage. And then additionally, Strength of the Wild grants us a new bear ability that deals 8% of the target's max health. Savage Momentum can also be really powerful against spellcasters as it causes your successful Skull Bashes to reduce the cooldown of Stampeding Roar, Tiger's Fury and Survival Instincts, and then finally, High Winds can also be good in some situations, but As ferals are usually the kill target, you'll most likely not get off enough cyclones to get full value out of it. Now onto the stat priority. Ferals want to stack as much versatility as possible, then mastery, then crit, and finally haste. Versatility increases all damage and healing we do, as well as reducing damage we take. Mastery increases the bleed damage we do, as well as our finishing moves damage. Crit gives our attacks and heals a chance to do double damage and heals, and haste reduces cast time and the global cooldown, increases our attack speed and energy regeneration, as well as causing our dots to tick faster. Alternatively, now that crit is no longer nerfed in PvP, you can actually stack crit over versatility and mastery for more of a glass cannon build, but I'd say it's a bit risky and I would just recommend going versatility, mastery, then crit. Next, onto essences. When it comes to your major essence, you want to go with Breath of the Dying. It provides some big burst on a short cooldown when the target is above 80% health or lower than 20% health, which is great for kill windows. Alternatively, Conflict and Strife is good against comps where you have trouble surviving, particularly in stuns, or if you want Thorns but don't want to give PvP talents. And then for your minor essences, you'll want Breath of the Dying or Conflict and Strife, whichever one wasn't your major, Memory of Lucid Dreams for the versatility, heal and energy proc, and then Crucible of Flame for the damage and healing proc. Now onto Azerite trades. Like I mentioned earlier, crit is no longer nerfed in PvP, so now you'll ideally want 3 Jungle Furies. Jungle Fury increases Tiger's Fury duration, as well as giving us a nice crit buff. Then you'll want to aim for 3 Iron Jaws, which gives Ferocious Bite a chance to increase the damage of your next maim, and as maim is often used in our setups, having it do some nice burst damage is a really great bonus. Now if you can't get 3 Jungle Furies or 3 Iron Jaws, having 1 stack of Flesh Rending, which causes the target to take extra shred damage when affected by Thrash, or a stack of Gushing Lacerations, which causes Rip Ticks to deal additional damage, as well as give each tick a chance to grant a command point, is okay too. Finally, onto our rotations. Ferals have a unique mechanic called Snapshotting. Snapshotting causes our damage modifiers, like Tiger's Fury and Blood Talons, to permanently affect our bleeds. For example, Tiger's Fury increases damage dealt by 15%. Bleeds applied with Tiger's Fury active will receive that damage increase for their entire duration. Because of this, you should try and make sure your bleeds are under the effect of as many damage modifiers as possible. Now when it comes to PvP, there aren't really any set rotations as everything is situational, but your opener will go something like this. Prowl, Rake Stun, Tiger's Fury, Rip, Feral Frenzy to get 5 command points, Reaping Flames if the target is above 80% health, Dress to Gaff, and then Ferocious Bite to extend Rip's duration and apply a stack of Ferocious Wound. After that, look at your rotation as a priority system. Your main priority is a Rip buffed by as many damage modifiers as possible, then a 5 command point Ferocious Bite, then Rake, and then using Shred and Brutal Slash to build command points. And if you are playing with the Wild Flesh Rending Azerite trait, make sure you keep up Thrash too. So one thing I get asked a lot in my live stream is when do I use Brutal Slash over Shred? Mainly you want to use Brutal Slash over Shred when multiple targets are stacked up for the cleave damage, but also if you want to build up some quick combo points, as Brutal Slash costs less energy than Shred. I also don't leave it on 3 charges because it's just a waste of a charge. So that's it for my Shadowlands pre-patch Feral PvP guide. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible, or head over to my live stream at twitch.tv/BananaRaccoonTV and I'll answer them live. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and hit that sub button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.